Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another exciting edition of Inside Pitch. The 1969 final week is on the air. Today's date is October 2nd, 1969. We have made it through another regular season. Today it is closing day as the New York Mets take on the Chicago Cubs here at Wrigley Field. Both teams come into this game a record of 102 and 59. Very simple. Whoever wins this game wins the National League East and will be the number one seed in the playoffs. There are only a handful of games that actually mean anything tonight on the final week. The American League is set. The Baltimore Orioles are number 1. Oakland is 2. Boston 3. Detroit is 4. Minnesota is 5. There will only be one American League Wild Card Series game. It will be the Minnesota Twins taking on the Detroit Tigers, and that will be at Tiger Stadium. The National League is almost set. Whoever wins tonight will be the number one seed overall in the National League. The Mets or the Cubs. Whoever is the number one seed will play the wild card winner champion between Los Angeles and any one of these other teams. The number two, the other set we have set here. So the Pirates, that didn't make any sense, sorry. The Pirates are the third seed. Right now, they hold number 4, but they still have not clinched the number 4 spot. The Pirates and the Cardinals are tied. It cannot end in a tie. The Pirates have a better board record than the Cardinals. A Pirate win, and they're in. A Pirate loss and a Cardinal loss, the Pirates win. The Cardinals can only get in if the Pirates lose in ticker and the Cardinals win in ticker. In the National League West, the Atlanta Braves have not clinched it yet. They have a 2-3 board record. San Francisco is 5-1. The Braves have one more game to play. The Giants as well. A win by the Giants, okay, and a loss by Atlanta, the Giants will win the division. A loss by Atlanta and a Giant win will still win the division. The Dodgers are the 6th seed. This cannot change. They will go to either San Francisco or Atlanta in Game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series, which will be on Friday. So that is what is at stake tonight when we get to the ticker, the final ticker of the 1969 regular season, and this should be something tonight. So even though both tonight's teams are already in the postseason, the question is, who's going to have home field? Cutter Historical, Jeremy Brooks, XSG2, Brian B. are first to join us here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs historically won this game. They had 5 runs, 7 hits, and 4 errors, an ugly game on their side. The Mets had 3 runs, 9 hits, and an error. So everybody is set tonight to see if the Mets can reverse it and win tonight. A win for the Mets or Cubs, they clinch the National League East. As Ben Witz now joins us here at Wrigley Field. So, we have made it to another regular season here of Inside Pitch. We got a big postseason coming up that usually lasts about a month and a half, and I can't wait to see how this postseason will go. But we gotta close it tonight. So let's see what we have. Starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, actually is their ace tonight, Bill Hands. 20 wins, 14 losses, a 2.49 ERA, 181 strikeouts and 65 walks in 69. We are at Wrigley Field. It's a hitter's park, 148 home runs, -1 to strikeouts and -1 to walks. So we are all set and ready to go. Mets and the Cubs, our final Inside Pitch game of the regular season. I want to thank you all for joining me for the 69 season. What will be our next season? We're going to have to wait at least a month and a half to find out. But meanwhile, let's finish off 69. Let's go to the top of the first. Leading off for the Mets will be the left fielder, Cleon Jones. 340 average, 12 homers, 75 RBIs in 69. We will use blue, white, and blue dice. Cubs are the home team. Not an empty seat anywhere here at Wrigley Field. And yes, these two teams may definitely face each other again. What will happen? Who will win the National League East? Let's find out. Hands 2-1. That's a pitcher result. And that 17 is going to be an automatic out. And it's going to be a ground out to third. Taken care of there by Ron Santo. And the throw goes to first for the out. Next batter is the third baseman, Wayne Garrett. A 218 average, a homer, and 39 RBIs in 69. John Haverly joins us here at Wrigley Field. Hands 6-5 against the lefty. It's a blank. Garrett 1-3, and it's a ground ball to third. Once again, Ron Santo will get that. He will take it over, throw it over for out number 2. Next up is the center fielder, Tommy Agee. 271 average, 26 homers, 76 RBIs. Hands 1-3, strikeout 4, got him, and the inning is over. First strikeout for Hands, and 1-2-3 go the Mets. We go to the bottom of the first. Section 518 is in the stands. Of course, this game historically was meaningless. The Mets had already clinched the National League East in 69. Starting pitcher for the New York Mets tonight is Gary Gentry. 13 wins, 12 losses, 3.42 ERA, 154 strikeouts, 76 walks. Leading off in the bottom of the first, the shortstop, Don Kessinger, underrated shortstop. 273 average, 4 homers, 53 RBIs in 69. Gentry, 1-1 against the switch left. That's going to be an automatic out, and it will be a fly ball to center field. And Tommy Agee will get to that and make the catch. 1 out, and that will bring up the second baseman, Paul Popovich. 284 average, a homer, 18 RBIs. The Cubs do have a couple of hodgepodge players in there. Mets pretty much have their main lineup in there, with maybe an exception of Clendenin. Gentry, 2-3, that's a blank. Popovich, 3-1, and he hits one to left field, but Cleon Jones will get to that, and that's out number 2. And that will bring up the next be the left fielder, Hall of Famer, Billy Williams. 293 average, 21 homers, 95 RBIs as Devil 9 GLA joins us here at Wrigley Field. Gentry, a 4-2 walk. 16 is going to be too high. Williams, 2-3, and it's a base hit. He'll hit that one into left, and Williams will get a single and hold it first. And now the third baseman, Hall of Famer, Ron Santo. 289 average, 29 homers, 123 RBIs that year. Strategy, and nothing happening with Williams. He will stay put. Gentry, 5-3, range play at the park. Wrigley Field, 6-4. That's a home run to center field. There's not going to be a range play because against the righty, Santo needs an 18. That's a 13. Unless Tommy Agee can jump about 30 feet in the air, he's not getting that one. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. And that ball is gone. Home run, Ron Santo. Stadium cheers. Yay! Section 518 groans. 2-run bomb by Ron Santo puts the Cubs up early here, 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Gentry pitched him a good pitch, but Santo went ahead and powered that one here. Wrigley Field, well known for homers. So now 2-0 in favor of the Cubs, and that will bring up the first baseman, one of the greatest of all time. Let's play 2, Ernie Banks. 253 average, 23 homers, 106 RBIs. Gentry, 4-4, strikeout 3. He'll get him, and that will retire the side. First strikeout by Gentry. 2 runs on 2 hits. A 2-run bomb by Ron Santo. Cubs take an early 2-0 lead. Do the Cubs get revenge for 1969 here on the board? We go to the top of the second as Doug Hunt joins us here at Wrigley Field. Leading off for the Mets will be the right fielder, Art Shamsky. 300 average, 14 homers, 47 RBIs in 69. Hands, 1-4. That is a blank. Shamsky, 5-3. Ground out to second. That'll be handled by Paul Popovich, and he will toss it over. Next up, the second baseman, Ken Boswell. 279 average, 3 homers, 32 RBIs. Hands, 1-5. Wild pitch. It's a blank. Boswell, 4-3. He hits one to right field, and that's going to be Jim Hickman getting to there, and he will make the catch for out number 2. And the next batter will be the first baseman, Steady Eddie himself, recently passed away, Mr. Ed Kranepool. 238 average, 11 homers, 49 RBIs. I will always say Ed Kranepool was a steady player. I don't think any of you guys will have a problem if I say that. Hands will go ahead and pitch. Hands, 5-1, strikeout, 20 is high. Kranepool, 2-6, and against the righty, he smacks one past second. Kranepool will have a single. So Kranepool will get him a base hit. And now the catcher, Jerry Grody, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people say he was an underrated catcher. 252 average, 6 homers, 40 RBIs in that year. Has been the nickname of Mr. Met. I don't know. Strategy for Kranepool, he'll stay put. Hands, 5-4. That's a blank. Grody, 4-5. Ground out to short. That'll be handled by Kessinger, and he's going to throw to second to get Kranepool, and that will end the inning. No runs and a hit for the Mets, and we will go to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Cubs will be the right fielder, Jim Hickman. 237 average, 21 homers, 54 RBIs in 69. Gentry, 2-3. That is a blank. Hickman, 6-2. A line out right to third. That's caught by Garrett for the out. Next batter, a young center fielder with a fro named Oscar Gamble. 225 average, a homer and 5 RBIs that year. Gentry, 3-2. Range play. Gamble, 5-5. It's a ground ball right back to Gentry. Gentry was excellent. His range is a 5. And it's a 3. He'll make the play, and he'll throw it over to first for the out. 2 away. And the next batter is the catcher, Johnny Hairston. Only had 4 at-bats in 69. I think they were giving Hundley the day off. 250 average, and that's all Hairston has. Gentry will go ahead and pitch. Gentry, 3-6 against the righty. Strikeout 10, and he'll get him. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Gentry. And the Cubs go 1-2-3. 2-0 after 2. No, David Wright was not Mr. Met. David Wright was known as Captain America. David Wright was given, the Mets gave him the nickname Captain America, is what David Wright is. Mr. Met, to me, would have to be Tom Seaver, but of course, he's known as the franchise. So really, in a way, you'd have to say Tom Seaver really would be Mr. Met. We go to the top of the third, as Philip Reynolds joins us here at Wrigley Field. Leading off for the Mets will be the shortstop, another man who passed away recently, Bud Harrelson, 248 average and 24 RBIs in 69. Hands. 6-2. It's a blank. Harrelson. 4-5. Single into right field. Harrelson leads off with a base hit. He will head to first. And now the pitcher, Gary Gentry, an 081 average and RBI, is probably going to be bunting. So they'll call the corners in. Do Mets need a win today? Well, if the Mets win, they win the division. If the Cubs win, they win the division. But the Mets will be the number 3 seed. They would play the winner of the National League West. Strategy roll. That's a 20. Hands fires to first base. And Harrelson will get back. Craig Scarborough joins us here at Wrigley Field. Hands. 1-1 against the righty. Strikeout 9. And that is good, even though the bunt was on. But the 39 divided by 2, that 9 is still going to get him on a strikeout. So he will strike out trying to bunt. And that's out number 1. So we still struck him out, even though I was calling for the bunt. So next batter is Jones. Jones is 0 for 1. Harrelson on at first, and he will stay at first. Hands. 2-6. That's an automatic out, and it will be a ground ball to first. So 1-1-1. Shortstop pivot Kessinger is 0. The only way they'll turn a double play is on a 1. No, Harrelson will actually make second base, and the only play that Ernie Banks had was to tag the bag for the out. So runner will move up, and it will now bring up Garrett, and Garrett is 0 for 1. Harrelson on at second, 2-0 already in favor of the Cubs. Strategy roll, nothing on the 4. Hands, 1-2, strikeout 6, swing and a miss, struck him out, and the inning is over. Third strikeout for Hands, no runs and a hit for the Mets as we go to the bottom of the third. Now, they still have Mr. Met and they also have Mrs. Met. They got both. Leading off for the Cubs will be the pitcher, Bill Hands, an 0.92 average and 3 RBIs in 69. Gentry, 3-4. Wild pitch, it's a blank. Hands, 1-5, and he grounds 1 to third base. That'll be taken care of by Garrett, and he will toss it over. Next batter is Kessinger. Kessinger is 0 for 1. Gentry will go ahead and pitch. Gentry, 2-5. That's at the park. Wrigley Field, 2-3. That's a home run to the opposite field. Against the lefty, though, Kessinger needs a 0, and it won't matter. That's just going to be a fly ball. And Kessinger hitting from the left side, so that will be a fly ball to left, deep to left, but Cleon Jones is going to have room. And he will make the catch for out number 2. Very easy to hit a ball out in Wrigley Field. Next batter is Popovich, and he's 0 for 1. Gentry, a 1-6 wild pitch. It's a blank. Popovich, 1-3, and against the righty, he'll keep the inning going, and that'll be a base hit past short. Popovich will get the single. He'll hold there. And now here's Williams. Williams got a base hit his first time up. Popovich not a threat to steal. And that's a 20, though. Gentry will throw to first to try to get him anyway, but Popovich gets back easy. Gentry, 3-3, walk, 12. No, that's high. Williams, 1-1, and he hits 1 to left field, a fly ball. And once again, Cleon Jones will get there. He will make the catch and retire the side. No runs and a hit. The Cubs still holding on to a 2-0 lead here after 3. When does voting for next season start? Philip Reynolds, you know I don't do the selection show until I start the World Series here on this channel. You know that. I've been doing this for 4 years now. We go to the top of the 4th. Hands is on the mound. Leading off for the Mets will be Tommy Agee. He's 0 for 1. No, not yet. The version 4 rule set is still in beta. Hands, 5-3, walk. 6, ball 4. He'll walk AG. So AG will trot the first on a leadoff walk. First walk issued by Hands. And will now bring up Shamsky. He's 0 for 1. Infield is at double play. Strategy, nothing on the 15. AG will stay where he is. Hands, 4-4. Range play. Shamsky, 4-3. That's hit to center field. It's a double to center. But going after that is Oscar Gamble. It's a range play. His range is a 3. He's got it. 1 out. Wow, he took a double away from Shamsky. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Oscar Gamble takes a double away from Shamsky. Great play out there. 1 away. It'll now bring up Boswell. Boswell's 0 for 1. Jimmy Jam joins us here at Wrigley Field. Strategy. And AG gets the steal sign. Don't think I'm going to send him, though. 11 minus 3 is 8. And Hairston is 0. They're not going to send AG. They will say, nope, you stay put. Hands. 4-5. Possible error. Boswell. 6-4. And that's a ground ball to short. That ball is hit to Kessinger. His error rating is a 6. That's a 17. No error. 3-3-4. Second base, pivot Popovich -1. A 1-3. It's a double play. Side retire. 6-4-3 double play. Nothing across except a walk. And right now, Bill Hands pitching like the pitcher he was that year as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Leading off for the Chi Cubs will be Ron Santo. He hit a 2-run bomb his first time up. Gentry, 6-6, error on a grounder. Santo, 1-5. That's hit to center field. It's a base hit. Tommy Agee error rating is a 4. That's a 1, and he's going to misplay it. It's going to get by him. Santo automatically makes second. And his base running rating is a 3. Does he take third? Yes, he does. Single and an error for Ron Santo. That will be an E8 on Agee as he does not make the play. First error on the Mets. They did have an error in the game historically. And 1 second here. 3-9-1. And Cubs were 5-7-4. The Cubs had 4 errors in this game historically. But that's a big error and allows Santo to go to third. And now the batter is Banks. Infield will come in. Banks is 0 for 1. Error on Agee allows a runner to go to third base. Strategy roll. And nothing. That's a 2. Santo will stay where he is. Gentry, 4-6. Strikeout. 12 is high. Banks, 3-1. And he hits a fly ball to left field. That's going to be caught by Jones. Out number 1. Banks, a sacrifice fly of 2. Hit to left +1 is a 3. He will not score Santo that way. Santo base runner 3. But left fielder Jones is a +1 arm. A 1-4. There could be he can still score. And he will. Ron Santo will come in on his own. He turns on the Jets. And the Cubs take a 3-0 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Section 518 groans. And now next batter will be Hickman. And Hickman's 0 for 1. Still 1 out here on the bottom of the 4th. But now a 3-0 lead for the Cubs. Gentry, 5-2. Strikeout 10. Got him. He gets Hickman. And that is the 3rd strikeout for Gentry. 2 away. Next batter is Gamble. Gamble is 0 for 1. Gentry, he will pitch. Gentry, 6-3. That's a blank. Gamble, 3-4. And that's a grounder to second base. Up with it is Boswell. And he'll take his time, toss it over, retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. And a sacrifice fly now gives the Cubs a 3-0 lead here after 4. At Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike joins us here at Wrigley Field. Yeah, how much are those tickets to go see the Utah Hockey Club? I still don't know why the NHL just didn't give them a new name now. I don't know why they have to wait a whole year for that. What are you going to go? Are you going to go to any of those hockey games there, STM? You have to let me know there. So winner is the National League top speed. The losing the team is a top wild. No. Well, yeah, they're the number 3 seed. They will avoid the wild card round. They automatically go into the division series. They have the best record. And let variance see too freaking expensive. We go to the top of the 5th. Leading off for the Mets will be Ed Kranepool. He got a base hit his first time up. Hands. 4-1, range play at the park. Wrigley Field, 4-3, and that's a blank. We have a rare play with a range play at the park. So rare plays, bases empty from range play at the park. 53. Slow roller down the first base line with no chance to get batter. Resolved as range play for first base. Well, first baseman is Banks. His range is a 2. He's got it. What a play there. What a play. And let's see here. Let's see. Resolved play there. We got first base. Yep. First base successful. If successful, first baseman lets ball roll foul. If failed range play, first baseman touches ball, credit batter with a single. Oh, I had to read through it. So so it's going to be a foul ball, which means he gets to redo it. Okay. Remember, Chris did add some new rare plays in the version 4 rules. That's actually a pretty good one. So Kranepool gets another crack at it. Hands, 6-1 against the lefty. It's a blank. Kranepool, 6-6. Won't matter. It's a line out to first anyway, and that's out number 1. As right now, Hands is shutting down the Mets. Here comes Grody. Grody is 0 for 1. Hands with the pitch. Hands, 5-3, walk. That's ball 4. He will walk Grody. Grody trots to first. Mets got to try to get something going on here. The division is on the line, but it really doesn't matter. The Mets are going to be in the best of 5 automatically, along with the Cubs, no matter what. Here's Harrelson. He's 1 for 2. What does matter here, of course, is home field. Strategy, Grody stays put. Hands, 2-5, strikeout, 19 is high. Harrelson, 3-6, and it's popped up right to the pitcher. And Hands says he'll take it, and he'll make the play for out number 2. And now the batter is Gentry, and Gentry's 0 for 1. He'll swing away. Grody on it first. Nothing on the 6. Hands, 1-3, strikeout, swing and a miss, struck them out, and the inning is over. That's the 4th K for Bill Hands. Nothing across except the walk. We go to the bottom of the 5th. That's too bad you're not going to a game there, Utah Mike. You could go there, okay, when a certain hockey team, when a certain Stanley Cup champions visit Utah. And of course, I'm talking about the Florida Panthers. We got the cup. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and leading off for the Cubs will be Johnny Hairston, and he's 0 for 1. Gentry, 1-3, strikeout. He'll get Hairston, and that is strikeout number 4 for Gentry. 1 down. Next batter is Hands. Hands is 0 for 1. Gentry will pitch. Gentry, 1-1 against a righty. It's a blank. Hands, a 1-4, and he hits one to center field. And Tommy Agee is going to get to that for the second out. 2 down, here's Kessinger. Kessinger is 0 for 2. Joel Turney joins us here at Wrigley Field for closing day. Gentry, 1-4, that's at the park. Wrigley Field, 3-6, and that's grounded to second base, taken care of there by Boswell. He will throw it over to first and retire the side. Gentry's actually done a pretty good job, but the home run and the sacrifice fly have done him in. 3-0 Cubs after 5. Winner here wins the National League East and will be the number 1 seed in the National League. The Baltimore Orioles are the number 1 seed throughout. We go to the top of the 6th. Leading off for the Mets will be Cleon Jones, and he's 0 for 2. Hands will pitch. Hands 1-1 against the righty. Strikeout. Got him. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That is the 5th K for Bill Hands. He's on it tonight. He wants to win that division. Here comes Garrett. Garrett is 0 for 2. Hands 3-2. Hit by pitch. 12 is high. Garrett, a 1-3, and it's a ground ball hit to third base. And a certain Hall of Famer named Santo will get that and toss it over. And now AG. AG's 0 for 1 with a walk. Hands, he'll go ahead and pitch. Hands, 4-2, range play. AG, 4-5. That's a ground ball hit to third base. That's it to Santo. Santo is good. His range is a 4. And he's got it. Nice play by Santo. He'll get up. He'll throw to first and retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Go the Mets. Bill Hands has got everything, well, in his hands. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Paul Popovich leads off for the Cubs. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Gentry, a 5-3 range play at the park. Wrigley Field, 6-6. That's a home run to the pull side. Now against a righty, Popovich has a 0, so it's not going to be a home run. However, it is a range play. Popovich hitting from the left side. It's going to the pull side, so it's a fly ball to right field. That is going to Shamsky. Since it's off a home run possibility, his range is a 1. If he doesn't get it, it's a double. And that's a double. Popovich will go ahead and hit it over his head, and he will wind up at second base. Paul Popovich hits a double to get the leadoff man on for the Cubs. Here's Williams. Williams is 1 for 2. Marlon Price joins us here at Wrigley Field. 3-0 Cubs, bottom of the 6th. Whoever wins this game wins the National League East and the number 1 seed in the league. And nothing happening on the 4. Popovich stays put. Gentry, 2-2, strikeout, 17 will miss. Williams, 5-4, fly ball to center field. Tommy Agee will get to that one, make the catch for out number 1. Popovich base runner 4, hit the center -1, Agee a 0. Popovich will take third on a 3. Nope, they'll stay at second base. It wasn't too deep. And now here's Santo. Santo is 2 for 2, a single and a bomb. 1 out here, bottom of the 6th. Strategy, nothing on there. Gentry, 3-1. Home run result against a righty. Santo needs an 18. That's a 4. And Santo just went deep twice tonight. Kaboom! That ball's pretty high. That ball is pretty deep. That ball is pretty gone. Home run, Ron Santo is second of the night. Stadium cheers. Yay! Section 518, barfs. Yeah. A 2-run bomb by Ron Santo. And now the Cubs have a 5-0 lead. And Ron Santo kind of doing, I'm sure Brian B. will remember this, but Ron Santo kind of doing to the Mets what Ron Santo did to the Reds in the in last year's series. So Ron Santo hitting home runs everywhere, and now it's 5-0 here. And Gentry may not make it out of this inning. We'll see. Banks is up next. Banks is 0 for 2. The game does have meaning, but the Mets will be happy just to still, even with the loss, they're going to go straight to the division series. They avoid the wild card round. Gentry, 4-5, strikeout 9. That will miss. Banks, 2-5, and it's a grounder to third base. That'll be handled by Garrett, and Garrett throws it over for out number 2. 2 outs, and now the batter is Hickman. Hickman is 0 for 2. Yes, I know, Cutter Historical. I was listening to the game against the Blue Jays. That's a very nice win for the Mets. Gentry, 2-2, strikeout, 15 is too high. Hickman, 4-5, and it's a base hit. He hits that one into left field, and Hickman keeps it going. Single for Hickman. Here comes Gamble. Gamble's 0 for 2. Hickman on it first. Strategy rolls are now off. Gentry, 6-1. That is a blank. Gamble, 5-2. He hits one to center field. That's a 16. It's going to be too high. And Tommy Agee is going to have the room there to make the catch and retire the side. 2 runs, 3 hits. A 2-run bomb by Ron Santo, his second of the night. 5-0 in favor of the Cubbies. Yes, this is the remember the final. Believe it or not, the Padres, because they played some spoilers there, Davo 9. They avoided losing. They avoided losing less than 40 games. They did. They will not. They avoided that, believe it or not, with some spoilers that they had lately. We go to the top of the 7th. Cubs lead the Mets 5-0. And Art Shamsky will lead off. He's 0 for 2. Hands will deal. And 5-2. Error on a throw. Shamsky, 1-5. Nope, that's a fly ball to left field. Billy Williams says he'll get it. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. Next batter is Boswell. Boswell's 0 for 2. Hands. A 2-4. That's a blank. Boswell, a 6-4. And that's a grounder to shortstop. Taken care of there by Donnie Kessinger. And he will throw it over for out number 2. And now here's Cranepool. Cranepool 1 for 2 with a single. Hands. A 5-1. Strikeout 10. Too high. Cranepool 5-6. And it's a fly ball to center field. Oscar Gamble will come in and get it and retire the side. Bill Hands pitching a heck of a game. He's only given up 2 hits. The Cubs lead 5-0. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. Don't forget, we'll have our final 10-minute ticker coming up after tonight's game. And we will see what happens here. There will be no baseball tomorrow. We will return on Friday with Game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series. It will be either the Los Angeles Dodgers against the San Francisco Giants or the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Atlanta Braves. That's a 1-game playoff. The winner there will play either Pittsburgh or St. Louis. It depends what happens in the ticker tonight. So that will be that. That will be Friday as the 1969 postseason gets on the air. But we don't know yet who they're playing. We will find out after tonight. As Corsicant joins us here at Wrigley Field. Bottom of the seventh, Cubs lead 5-0. A win by the Cubs, they will clinch the National League East. And leading off for the Cubs is going to be Johnny Hairston. He is 0 for 2, and they're going to let him hit. Why not? Gentry is not tired yet. He's due to bat third. They're going to see if he can finish out the inning. Gentry, 4-1, hit by pitch. No. Hairston, 2-5. It's a base hit past second base, and Hairston will get a single. So he leads off with a hit. And now the batter is Hands. Hands will bat, probably calling up the bunt. Corners are in. Anything, no strategy roll needed. So Bill Hands will lay down the bunt. Gentry, 2-5. That's at the park, but that is ignored. So let's see where the bunt goes. Bill Hands, that is a 2. It's bunted right back to Gentry, which will make Bill Hands' bunt rating is a 1. And the bunt will be successful. That's going to be a good bunt by Hands. And Hairston will move over to second, and Hands is thrown out at first for the out. So a nice bunt by Hands to move the runner over. Sacrifice hit to the pitcher. And now the batter is Kessinger. Kessinger's 0 for 3. One out here, bottom of the seventh, 5-0 Cubs. Gentry will pitch. Gentry, 3-5. Strikeout, 13 will miss. Kessinger, a 3-2. And against a righty, that's going to be a double into left field. Hairston will come in to score. Kessinger goes to second, and the Cubs now have a 6-0 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Section 518 groans. Don Kessinger will go ahead and get an RBI double and put the Cubs ahead 6-0. Batter now is Popovich, and Gentry is tired. That will be it for him, and the Mets will go to the bullpen. So that will take care of Gentry, and the Cubs right now are ready to pop the champagne to win the division. Let's see. Coming on to pitch for the Mets is going to be Cal Kuntz, 6-3, 7 saves, a 4.99 ERA. Cal Kuntz will be the second Met pitcher, so he will take over here at least for the rest of this inning. 6-0 in favor of the Cubs. Kuntz will go ahead and pitch. Kuntz, 6-4, strikeout 9. That will be too high. Popovich, 4-5. That's a ground ball to first base. Cranepool will take it to the bag. Kessinger moves to third for the second out. And now Williams. Williams is 1 for 3 with a single. 2 men down. Kuntz right now just trying to keep it where it is, but the Mets are already as Phoenix Knight, who now joins us here at Wrigley Field. Yep, we got to get traveling, got to find out where we're going, whether Atlanta or San Francisco. Kuntz, 1-2, that's a blank. Williams, 1-4, and it's a grounder right back to Kuntz. He'll go ahead and get that and toss it over and retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits for the Cubs. And they got a commanding 6-0 lead here after 7 to win the division. We go to the top of the 8th. Leading off for the Mets will be Jerry Grody, and he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Hands still has plenty left in the tank. Hands, 2-6. That's an automatic out, and it will be a grounder to short, taken care of there by Kessinger. And Kessinger throws it over, 1 away. And now here's Harrelson. Harrelson 1 for 2. Hands will pitch. Hands, 4-1. Range play at the park. Wrigley Field, 4-4. It's a base hit past short, but it's a range play for Kessinger. His range is a 4, and he's got it. Kessinger easily gets that one, and throws it over to first for out number 2. Mets not getting any breaks in this one. Cal Kuntz coming back. The Mets will go to the bench, and it is going to be Don Clendenin. 248 average, 16 homers, 51 RBIs. He will go ahead and come to pitch. That's right. It is the top of the 8th. That's right. Top of the 8th. Thank you there for giving me the scoreboard. Hands will pitch. Hands, 1-3, strikeout 12, swing and a miss, struck him out, and the inning is over. That is the 6th K for Hands. 1, 2, 3, go the Mets. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning. And leading off for the Cubs will be Ron Santo. He's had a heck of a night. 3 for 3 with 2 bombs. The Mets will go to the bullpen and pretty much conceding this ball game. And coming on to pitch for the Mets is going to be, believe it or not, the Ryan Express himself. Nolan Ryan will come on to pitch. 6-3, a save, a 3.54 ERA. I do believe he will make the postseason roster. So Nolan Ryan will come on to pitch against Ron Santo here in the bottom of the 8th. 6-0 in favor of the Cubs. Ryan, 5-6 against the righty. It's a blank. Santo, 1-1. Fly ball center field. Tommy Agee will come under it and get it for the out. 1 away. Now here's Banks. Banks is 0 for 3. Ryan will pitch. Ryan, 6-2, strikeout, swing and a miss, struck him out. Ryan will go ahead and get Banks. 2 away. And now Hickman. Hickman 1 for 3, a single his last time up. Ryan, a 4-2. That's a walk plus 10 that will walk Hickman. Hickman barely gets even with a 20, but Hickman against the righty becomes a 26, so he will walk. Nolan Ryan showing he can strike out and biters and, of course, walk him. Here comes Gamble. Gamble's going to bat. Why not? You're 0 for 3. You got a 6-0 lead. Hickman will go ahead and he will pitch. Ryan will pitch. Ryan, 3-4. Against the lefty, it's a blank. Gamble, 5-6, and it's a fly ball to left field. Cleon Jones will get to it. He'll make the catch and retire the side. Nothing across except a walk. The Cubs are 3 outs away from winning the National League East and the number 1 seed. But will we see some 9th inning magic? We go to the top of the 9th inning. Cubs lead the Mets 6-0. Bill Hands has been absolutely outstanding. He's given up only 2 hits. He has completely controlled this Mets team. They will start with the top of the order, and it will be Cleon Jones. Jones is 0 for 3. Hands going for the distance. Ron McGrath joins us here at Wrigley Field. Hands, 3-4. That's a blank. Jones, 5-3, and it's a fly ball to right field. That'll be caught by Hickman for out number 1. 1 down, here's Garrett. Garrett is 0 for 3. Hands will go ahead and pitch. Hands, 6-2, that's a blank. Garrett, 1-3, and that's a ground ball to third. Getting over there is Santo. He takes his time, tosses it over. 2 outs. And now the last chance for the Mets will be Tommy Agee. Agee is 0 for 2. Hands looking in on Agee. The fans here at Wrigley Field are on their feet, knowing they're 1 out away from winning the division and the number 1 seed in the National League, which means they will face the wild card champion in that division. The Mets will have to go play the 2 seed. But still 1 more out to go. Hands is set and ready. Agee looking, maybe he can do something. Section 518, just looking up at the sky saying, really? Hands, 1-6, that's at the park. Wrigley Field, 1-5, and it's a ground ball to third. Getting over there is going to be Santo. He's got it. Pumps once, pumps twice, throws to first. That's your game. Cubs will go ahead and win it tonight, 6-0. They are the 1969 National League East champions. Stadium cheers. Yay, yay. Section 518, barfs. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go the Mets. Bill Hands could not have pitched a better game. Completely shuts down the Mets. The Cubs shut him out 6-0. They will win the National League East. They will go to 103-59. The Mets will drop to 102-60. They are the 3 seed. The Cubs are the 1 seed. Wow, what an interesting postseason we're going to have. Final line score coming up. For the Cubs, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. For the Mets, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher is Bill Hands. He goes the distance, gets the win. Gary Gentry takes a tough loss tonight. So the Cubs will win the National League East, and the Mets are the 3 seed. Philip Reynolds, who will the Mets play? We're about to find that out as we're about to do the final 10-minute ticker for 1969. It is now time for the 10-minute ticker, brought to you by FastScore Baseball. So the Mets are going to take the loss today, and the Cubs will win it 6-0. So that means that the Cubs are the number 1 seed. The Mets are the 3. Now the question is, who will they play? Well, we'll get to find that out in a minute here. California at Kansas City will do the meaningless games first. California 353, and that is 4 by way. Remember, the final standings and the postseason bracket will be posted in the VIP lounge. Kansas City 935, and that is 3, and the Angels will get the win. White Sox at Minnesota. White Sox at Minnesota. The Minnesota Twins are the 5 seed. They cannot do any better. Oakland did win the division already in the American League West. White Sox 8-11, that's 0. Twins 21-53, that is 8. And the Twins will get the win. Oakland at Seattle. The Athletics have already clinched the number 2 seed and the AL West championship. Oakland 15-61, and that is 8. Pilots 5-16, and that is 1. And that will be a win for the Athletics. Astros and the Dodgers. The Astros and the Dodgers are the 6th seed. They cannot do any better. The Astros are out. Astros 353, and that is 4. Dodgers 1136, and that is also 4. They will go to extras. Both teams roll a 2. Houston +0, Dodgers -1. So actually, Houston will win the game in extras. Now, let's see what we have in the rest of the American League West. Cincinnati and Atlanta, Padres and the Giants. Cincinnati and Atlanta, Padres and the Giants. The Giants have a 5-1 board record. Atlanta, has a 2-3 board record. The Braves are 1 game ahead. San Francisco needs to win. Atlanta needs to lose in order for San Francisco to win the division. Atlanta win, they do win the division. If both teams lose, Atlanta wins the division. So let's do the Braves first. Cincinnati at Atlanta. The Braves trying to win the division. Everyone is set for this one here. A win here, the Braves win the division, and they will play the Mets in the division series, like they actually did in that best of 5 in 1969. The Atlanta Braves trying to be National League West champions. Do they do it? Reds, 11-63. That is 7. Atlanta, 8-21. That is 2. No, not yet. The Braves beat the Reds beat the Braves, and now the Braves are at 72 losses. Same as San Francisco. So the Reds play spoiler. Now the Giants, they play the Padres. If the Giants win, they will be the winner of the National League West, and Atlanta drops to the 5. So Atlanta loses to Cincinnati, a horrible loss. Now the Giants play the Padres at home. Clay Kirby against Robertson. Padres now trying to pull spoiler off against the Giants. The Giants win. They win the division. A loss. It goes to Atlanta. Do the San Francisco Giants win the division? Padres 11-15. That is 2. Giants 12-31. That is 3. The San Francisco Giants will win the National League West. So the Giants will move now into the number 2 seed, and the Braves will move down into the 5 seed, which means the Mets will be going to Candlestick Park for their series in the National League Division Series. The Braves drop down to the 5, and the Dodgers will play the Braves in the first game of the National League Wild Card Series. San Francisco wins the division, which means that the first, and we'll get to the wild card series in a second. Now, one more playoff spot to go. Pittsburgh at St. Louis. Montreal is at Pittsburgh. Philadelphia is at the Cardinals. The Pirates have the better board record. A Pittsburgh win, they're in. A loss, the Cardinals must win to get in. The Pittsburgh Pirates trying to be the 4 seed. They will host the winner of Los Angeles and Atlanta at Forbes Field in Game 2 of that wild card series. Can the Pirates pull it off over the Cardinals? Everyone here ready. The last playoff spot is ready to be decided. Montreal at Pittsburgh. Do the Pirates go to the playoffs? Expos 4-21. That is 1. Pirates 13-26. That is 3. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to the playoffs. They will have a 93-69 record. They have a better board record than the Cardinals. The Pirates will go to the postseason. The Cardinals are out, which means the Philadelphia at St. Louis game is meaningless. So Philadelphia 0-53, and that is 3. Cardinals 7-34, that is also 3. They go into extras. Philadelphia rolls a 3 plus 0. Cardinals roll a 2 plus 0. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Philadelphia beats the Cardinals. And they are out. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in. We have our playoff teams. and the Pirates will go to the postseason. That is your 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always next year. No, everybody starts fresh, Dev09, on the postseason. Everyone starts fresh, and I do not use fatigue in the postseason. I do not use fatigue in the postseason. No, Cutter Historical. It's not 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. It's ladder format. So there will be no game tomorrow night, as it is travel day. As I got to get the playoff rosters set up, okay, and of course the rotations for each team. No game tomorrow night. Friday night begins the 1969 postseason. We will be at Atlanta Stadium as the Los Angeles Dodgers take on the Atlanta Braves in Game 1 of the National League Wild Card Series. Bill Singer will be going for the Dodgers, and Phil Niekro will be going for the Braves. So that will be our matchup there. Then Saturday will be Game 1, only one game of the American League Wild Card Series between the Minnesota Twins and the Detroit Tigers. That's only one game in the American League. That'll be at Tiger Stadium. Jim Perry will be going for Minnesota, and Denny McLain will go for Detroit. The postseason is set. All your teams are there. 11 teams made the postseason. How will this postseason go? We've always known that my postseasons, remember, my inside pitch postseasons never go the way that you think. What will happen? So Friday night, Dodgers and the Braves, National League Wild Card Series, Game 1, Singer versus Niekro. Be there or be square. I'd like to thank everyone real quick in the chat for having fun with me, as we have now completed the 1969 regular season. What will our next season be? We won't know until before the World Series, when we have four seasons to choose from, and after the World Series to see what the dice decide. So once again, guys, I want to thank you very much for joining me for the 1969 season. But it is far from done. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out to the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. We'll see you guys Friday night. The Chicago Cubs go ahead and clinch the National League East. They shut out the Mets 6-0. The 69 regular season is over. The 1969 postseason is about to begin.